I've always wanted to act.
How did I say it?
I've always wanted to act. she'll do like
How would a schizophrenic say it?
I've always wanted to act.
How would a nymphomaniac say it?
Acting is my life.
Do you ever wake up in the morning and say to yourself, what in the world is going on? The whole place went to hell in a handbag and you don't even own a handbag. I'm telling you, if you want Xanax through your hearing aids, then this is the thing you should do. You should listen to the Randi Lupo Show because she covers everything from comedians to writers and everything in between. She's entertaining and informative at the same time. She's everything that you wished your mother-in-law would be, and she isn't. But Randi, she was born in Brooklyn, New York, a different Brooklyn than most, a two-bears over. Randi brings his unique outlook to the show, and Lord knows we do need a different outlook. So now, put down your lattes, get your fat ass sitting down wherever you are, because you're about to see and hear something you never heard before. And that's our host, Randi Lupo.
Welcome, everyone. Today, on our traveling podcast, we're in Cape May with the wonderful Thomas Raniszewski.
Thank you. I love being here, and I'm back home in Cape May this weekend because I'm rehearsing our new play, Dying Like Ignacio.
Dying Like Ignacio?
Ignacio.
Oh, Ignacio.
So I'm told. I think there's a few different ways to pronounce it depending on what your ethnicity is.
What ethnicity is Ignacio?
I believe it's Spanish. Ignacio.
No,
Yeah.
so
Now, I was saying Ignacio, but I was told by a Spanish gentleman recently that the pronunciation is Ignacio.
Ignacio, tell me about this play. Could you talk about it? Is this an original play?
It's an original play. The playwright is Louis Mascolo, who's also a South Jersey resident, and it's based on an actual incident that happened to me in New York City, I guess about 2 summers ago.
Did you co-write this?
No, Lou Mascolo wrote he's the author of this, he is the playwright, but he based it on a story concept by me and my friend Nathan Garcia.
And Nathan's also in the play. Right?
No, Nathan's not in the play. Nathan is a New York police officer.
Do you want Nathan to be in the play?
Actually, I think Nathan auditioned for the play. His schedule, unfortunately, wasn't allowing him to do that. You know, he's like I said, he's a police officer in New York, and just wasn't going to work.
I hear you. Could you give us the premise of the play?
Premise of the play, the actual story the play is based on. I just always wanted to do that, like look at a camera and go, because you're not supposed to look at the camera, right?
You're not?
Well, you look at it because it's your show, but I always want to look at the camera.
This is your interview. You could do whatever you'd like.
Thanks. Could you leave now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I'm done.
But
I'm done.
2 years ago, I'll make this brief. 2 years ago, I had tickets to see a matinee in New York City, and Nathan and I were going to see it together. And I got to New York. Nathan called. He got tied up at work, couldn't make it. I'm standing outside the theater with an extra ticket, and a gentleman came up and started talking to me. We got into a conversation. The door of the theater opened. He said, I need to get a ticket. I said, hey, my buddy had to bail on me. Why don't you use his ticket? Oh, okay. We go in, we see the show together.
Did you overcharge him, by the way? Did you scalp it for a really
No,
high?
he offered to pay.
Yeah.
And I said, no. I said,
You're awesome.
I'm that kind of guy.
You're a great guy.
So we go in, we see the play, we come out. He says, look, if you're not going to take any money, at least let me get you a drink. I said, I can't. I got to get back to Cape May. Goodbye. We went our separate ways. Anyway, on the way home, I called Nathan, and I told him that I gave his ticket to this guy, and he said, you should be careful. He says, you're opening yourself up to a lot of danger in that neighborhood, giving tickets to people you don't know, and this, that, and the other. And I thought, wow, that's a good idea for a play. Nathan and I decided over the next few weeks, we sketched out this concept of a story involving what would have happened had this actor, me, taken this guy up on his offer. And all sorts of tangled webs are weaved, and chaos ensues, and questions are raised, and the limits of friendship are tested. And this is how the show goes. Nathan and I wrote just a brief bit of that concept. We know where we wanted the story to start. We knew how we wanted it to end.
Right.
But how do you get from here to there? And that's where Lou Mascolo, the playwright, comes in. And Lou just took this into amazing directions. I've said it a couple times already that Nathan and I gave Lou about 4 paragraphs of straw that he spun into 100 pages of pure gold.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's directed by who?
It's directed by Karen Case Cook, and she's a nominee of the New York Innovative Theater Award. I think I got all that right, for her work in Don Juan in Hell, which played, was it last year or the year before last in New York City.
Very nice. Now I wanted to ask you something. When is Dying Like Ignacio?
Ignacio.
Ignacio.
So
When
I'm
is?
told.
Where is it going to be playing? When is it?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
open
next week.
Yeah, it opens March 30th. It runs from March 30th through April 10th at the Workshop Theater's main stage on the 4th floor at 312 West 36th Street in New York. And there are 13 performances. There are a few matinees. People can search Dying Like Ignacio on Facebook. We have a Facebook page that has all the links, or you could go directly to brownpapertickets.com. That's brownpapertickets.com. Did you get that, Randy?
Brownpapertickets.com?
Yes, brownpapertickets.com.
Wait, brownpapertickets.com.
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 Now you've got it.
Can we do this as a Meisner exercise?
We could.
Brownpapertickets.com.
Mm-hmm.
No, repeat me. Feed off of me.
Let's do it with accents. Brownpapertickets.com.
Brownpapertickets.com.
Now we'll do it like nymphomaniacs.
Brownpapertickets.com. Dying Like
Ignacio. But you can go on to brownpapertickets.com. You can get tickets. You can see all the show times, read a little synopsis of the story, and so forth. And there is some mature subject matter in it.
So you would not recommend this for children?
I would not recommend it at all.
What if you don't really care about your kids? Can you then bring them if you're not?
Sure, and if you know someone who's easily offended, bring them too.
Okay, I will.
But
I can't wait to come.
yeah,
I'm
but
coming on April
there is
3rd.
some sexual subject matter, so it is for mature audiences. We do put that out there, so we
Okay,
don't upset
that's
anybody,
good.
yeah.
That's good. That
And it's got a
definitely.
great cast. I'll just talk about the cast real quick because I'd be amiss if I did.
Please, I'd love to know. Tell me. You seem to have a great rapport with them.
Oh my gosh, there are 4 of us in it. Myself, I play John, the fellow who comes up and talks to the young actor. I play him. Jeff Hathcote is a wonderful performer. He plays the part of Michael, the young actor who meets this gentleman.
Yeah.
Jeff is just an astounding actor. I've never worked with anyone so in touch with just human nature and emotion and feeling, and he becomes Michael. Meredith Lark, who I've worked with before, she also is in it. She plays Maureen, the wife of the police officer. Meredith has I've worked with her before. She has a focus to portraying her character that is spellbinding. She's a genius of an actress. She really is. Michael Bazile, who acted here in Cape May also, at Cape May Stage. One of the most intelligent actors I've ever worked with. Michael raises questions about his character specifically that it's hard to explain. He raises questions and concerns about his character that ends up benefiting the bigger picture that we're all working together to create. I mean, he's such an asset to this cast. Brilliant actor. So I'm very blessed to work with the people I'm working with on this production.
That's fantastic. I've seen you work in other productions, and I'm always amazed by you.
Thank you.
The last show I saw you in, you played 3 different characters. That was
Yes, Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah,
I love that show.
3 very distinct characters.
Yeah,
you played.
yeah. I love. One of the things I like doing is shifting gears between characters. That's always a lot of fun for me.
Right. That's wonderful. When did you start acting?
I guess I kind of had the inclination toward it since the time I was a little kid, but I never really did any acting on stage. I majored in music at college,
Where did you
Rowan,
go to college?
Rowan University, which
Good.
at the time when I went was still Glassboro State College. And I
Right,
think
right.
it was the last year that I graduated, they changed it to Rowan. But I majored in music, and of course I was a single father, as you know, and
You raised your son.
kind of put everything on the back burner to raise him. But a friend of mine here in Cape May was doing a production, asked me to act in it, and I kind of thought, wow, this is fun.
Sure.
Yeah. So I pursued it.
You have such a great spirit. I love spending time with
I
you,
don't
and
know.
it's like it makes me wonder, like, what were you like as a child? Because now there's nothing you can't do. You're a songwriter. You're an actor. You make your own fresh scents. You create your own scents.
I got one coming now.
You're a writer. Don't you write a
Nobody
column
laughed.
for a local Cape May paper?
I do. I write for Cape May Magazine too. I interview people for
Right.
Cape May Magazine. Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of do whatever. I have a lot of different interests. I enjoy things that I do. I just like pursuing things, learning things. I love people. You know, I love connecting with people.
And that really comes across. That definitely comes
Oh,
across.
thank you.
Do you hug everyone you see? Because I just need
I
everyone
like
to know
hugs.
that you
Yeah,
give
I
the
think hugs
best
because
hugs.
I wasn't always a hugger, but there became a point in my life that I realized how valuable life is, my own life, and
What brought you to that point of realizing how valuable? Usually, there's a turning point.
oh, there was for me. Well,
Could you talk-
I guess it was twofold, really. I mean, as yeah, I had suffered from depression from the time I was probably a teenager.
Right.
I was on medication for it. It got progressively worse. As you know, I'm a recovering alcoholic. So that, of course, didn't help the matter. It's like a double-headed monster that kind of they feed off of each other, you know, and it just snowballs and gets worse and worse. And finally, I guess it's been within the past 10 years. It's been a long process, but I was able to get a grip on both of those things.
How did you do it?
Well, the depression. I mean, I guess the depression I kind of got the grip on first because I'd been on medication for years, and it just got worse, and I had a breakdown, and everything had been tried, and something. And I don't think I ever talked about this before, but I'll talk about it with you because it might help somebody out there. I underwent finally after medication wasn't working anymore. I finally underwent ECT, which was
That's electric shock
electroshock therapy. Yeah, which was oh my God, it was a miracle for me. It
didn't,
cured me.
Honestly, I didn't know they did that
I
anymore.
didn't either. And like I said, it had gotten worse, and it was right around the time I was getting sober. So there was a lot of weird changes going on in me. I was dealing with a lot, trying to recondition my thinking, and it just everything. I just hit rock bottom, and that was the cure-all. I've been off medication now. Now, it doesn't work that way with everybody, I know.
It's very individual.
Because I've connected with other people who've also gone through it and are going through it, and I try to be a support to them. And some people, like myself, it was very successful, and other people, it just it doesn't do all that much. I thank God that it did work for me. And it's like you finally feel like you're the person. Oh, I bet that's going to sound great on the thing. You finally feel like you're the person who you knew was in there all along, but couldn't get to the surface.
You couldn't access it before. Is that
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, I had that. Of course, the alcoholism didn't help. And through that, and also through the help of having gone through AA, and I still.
You have not gone through that?
Yes, I have gone through it.
Do you still go to meetings?
Oh, absolutely. It's the only way. I mean, addiction, alcoholism, it's a disease. And like any disease, it's always in you. It's always alive and well within you. It's waiting to take the helm, you know. It's waiting to control you again. So you've got to take precautions to keep that in check. You know, with some diseases, you can take a medication for it. Other diseases, you've got to change your cognitive process. You've got to change your habits. You've got to change your approach to situations.
Did you go for therapy as well to help you
through AA? I
cognitively?
mean, I'm still involved with AA. I go regularly and work my 12 steps, and it's the one thing that it's the only thing that's going to keep anyone clean and sober. Once again, it's a godsend. I thank God for it, because it's only through that help and that support that I'm able to maintain my sobriety. But it's only one day at a time, you know.
Absolutely. Sometimes I think it's 1 minute at a time.
You know, one of the sayings in AA is, you know, one day at a time. And if that's too tall of an order, take it 1 hour at a time.
Right.
You know.
I'm so happy for your success. Do you feel like the more you do, the more you can do? And is that what keeps you going?
In terms of everything creatively, or?
Yeah, creatively, your life, because you
Yeah,
do it-
I have a lot of ideas all the time. I have a lot of creative ideas, like the idea with Dying Like Ignacio.
Right.
And I have a lot of ideas, and if I have a good idea and I don't do anything about it, it bothers me. So I have to allow it to manifest. I have to make whatever effort I can to try and see how far I can go with this idea. Sometimes I start with an idea, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Tommy, you know, that ain't going to work.
That's what I wanted to know. Like, what gave this play legs? Because I know that you have so many ideas and so many thoughts, and what made this success? What made this come to fruition as opposed to others?
Is one person, and one person only from the start, and that's Karen Case Cook. Mm-hmm. Because before we even asked Lou Mascolo to take on the job of writing the play, Karen and I had done a play in Philadelphia a few years ago called The 20th Century Way. We did it in 2011 and 2012. It was a very profound, very edgy, brand new play, and it was very challenging, and we did it, and we did it well, and we got wonderful reviews. And ever since we left that show, we were looking to do something else, and we just couldn't find it. Karen would find scripts and send them to me. I'd find scripts and send them to her. Nothing we could really agree on, nothing that really hit us. Finally, when this incident happened to me, which I told you about, and Nathan and I started sketching out this story, we contacted Karen and told her this might be it. She said, "Well, let's keep going with it. Why don't you see if we can?" And so she was the one who validated it for me. When I heard, and she's someone I respect greatly, one of the best directors I've ever worked with, in terms of human nature and so forth. When all of a sudden she validated that, I knew that we really did have something good going. Yeah.
I'm so excited to see this play.
I can't wait till you see it.
I really am. You grew up in Cape May, or?
I was born and raised in Wildwood. I grew up in Wildwood, which obviously, if you grow up in Wildwood, you grew up in Cape May because it's right across the bridge.
Right.
So, but yes, I grew up here. Mm-hmm.
And what was that like?
Fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, growing up in Wildwood, you have the boardwalk and so forth. People think that because you live here, that, you know, oh, it must be great because you go to the beach all the time. I haven't been to the beach in years. And people
really?
Are like, how do you not?
And people come here.
If you live here, you don't do. You know, it would be because you live here. You got to make a living. You work.
Sure.
You work and you serve and you cater to the people who do visit. You know.
Yes, absolutely. And you love what you do. You have a great boss, don't you? That allows you.
Oh, Bonnie Mullock. Yeah.
She gives you all the time you need to
Bonnie
pursue.
Mullock gives me the time I need. Bonnie Mullock respects me, like I said, as an employee, as a person. I think of all the people who I've ever worked with. Now I'll be going back to work with Bonnie in April when the show at Bath Time on the Washington Street Mall in Cape May, New Jersey. So. Yeah, but Bonnie's great. I love Bonnie. So
sure, and your son is down here as well, isn't he?
My son is here. Yes, he's a Cape May County Sheriff's officer. He's a police officer here, and I'm very proud of him. You must be so proud.
You have to be really proud of him.
Andy,
you did a great job raising him.
Thanks.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, he's the best. Andy's the best. Yeah.
You like being a dad? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't. Well, whoever plans being a dad or a mom, very few people, I guess, but.
I don't like to say accident. I like to say surprise.
Yeah,
I think sometimes surprises are the best thing.
Yeah, but no, Andy. I can't imagine what my life would be without Andy. He's given like total meaning to my life. I love him. He's my son. I'm so blessed to have him. Yeah.
Do you have any plans for the show? Like where you'd like to see it go? What you
Oh,
want,
sure.
where
That's the whole point of
like to...
The whole point of this is we're doing this as an equity-approved showcase production, which obviously it can't run more than 3 weeks, I believe. And the idea of doing a showcase production is exactly that: to showcase a work. In this case, a new work, and to encourage those in the industry, especially, to come and see it. Artistic directors, producers, hoping that someone will pick it up and run with it, and it will live among some of the great things being written today, which I think it could be, because Lou Mascolo did a fantastic job writing it. At the Workshop Theater's main stage at 312 West 36th Street in New York, 4th floor.
New York City?
New York City, New York,
How
USA.
do you get the tickets?
Brownpapertickets.com.
Brownpapertickets.com. Brownpapertickets.com. Brownpapertickets.com. Wow. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You are the best.
Oh, I love you too. I love you, love you, love you.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Randy Lupo Show. Thanks for checking out the show. Be sure to follow Randy on Twitter at Randy Lupo. Visit her website at randylupo.com. Thanks to Broadband Box Office and VK Media. Have a great evening.